Hi, Cougars. Okay, so yesterday we were learning about how to divide fractions by fractions. And so today what we're going to learn is we are going to learn how to divide fractions by mixed numbers. So we're going to be dividing fractions when we have mixed numbers. So first we're going to look at what we did when we were multiplying mixed numbers. So we're going to take that concept of how to convert mixed numbers into improper fractions, and we're going to put it together with what we did yesterday with dividing fractions by fractions. We're going to put those two concepts together, and then we are going to create, wabam, some magic. Yep, that's right. You're going to be a mathemagician today, and you are going to create some division magic. All right, so here we go. How do you divide mixed numbers? That is our essential question for today. How do you divide mixed numbers? That is what we want to know. All right. So how are we going to learn how to do that? Well, let's find out. Okay, so how do you divide mixed numbers? That is our essential question for today. So this key idea that we are looking at is writing each mixed number as an improper fraction and then dividing as you would like normal fractions. So we are going to first decide how to make improper fractions again when we have a mixed number. So let's go ahead and look at that. So let's look at an example. Let's say I have example A. It says we need to find 2 2/3, and that needs to be divided by 2/3. So this says that I have 2 2/3 of something, and I need to split it into 2/3 pieces. Okay, so what exactly does that look like? Well, we need to figure that out. So I have 2 2/3 of something left. Let's say like I have a bag of flour. And from that bag of flour, I'm able to divide that into 2/3 equal pieces. So I need to figure out what is going on with this right here. So we need to create an improper fraction here. Okay, so let's take this and let's split this guy out and let's figure out how to do that. Okay, so we're going to take 2 2/3 and we're going to make an improper fraction. So the first thing, we need to work with this 2. Well, this 2 is the same as saying 3/3 plus, oh, I got another one, 3/3 plus 2/3. Now this whole thing right here represents that fraction. Okay, well, how much is that fraction worth? That fraction right there is worth 3 plus 3, which is 6, 7, 8. So it's worth 8/3. So it has a value of 8/3. Okay, now I also have 2/3. So I have 2/3 that I can just drop down. So it's divided by this fraction here, which is just 2/3. Okay, so I have 2 different fractions that I'm working with. This one did not need to be converted into an improper fraction because it did not have a whole number. So this one had no whole numbers, so it's not improper. Okay, so now I'm going to divide 2/3. Okay, let's talk about what in the world just happened out to the side because this was a lot that just happened. So step 1. My first step is that I need to turn mixed numbers into improper fractions. Okay, step 2. I can then rewrite my division problem. Rewrite the division problem. Okay, now step 3. Step 3 tells me that I can go ahead now and I can divide this thing. All right, are we ready? We are going to follow our division steps that we learned yesterday. So we're going to divide fractions by fractions. So we learned this 2 lessons ago, and then this now we learned yesterday. So we're going to take this and we are going to now divide. And we're going to divide following the keep, change, flip. Keep it, change it, flip it. Or inverse. All right, are we ready? Okay, here we go. So this one, I need to keep. This thing, my division sign, I'm going to change it. And this last one, I am going to flip. All right, so I am going, ooh, you're a little crazy. All right, I'm going to keep 8/3. I am going to change to a multiplication sign because I know reciprocals. And I am going to flip or find the inverse of 2/3. Inverse of 2/3 is 3/2. Now, after I do that, I can then step 4 it, which is multiply. To solve. All right, here we go. 8 times 3. What's 8 times 3? Yes, 24. Good work. And 3 times 6? Perfect, is 6. Okay, now we can reduce this down because it's still an improper fraction, so we need to reduce. We need to solve this. This is not improper. I mean, this is improper, and we don't want anything improper. We want proper. Okay, proper. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So it goes in 4 times. So that means in this bag of flour that I had, I could get 4 servings out of it. So if my recipe called for 2/3, I would be able to get 4 servings out of there. That's awesome. So step 5, reduce. Boom, I am done. Okay, so I'm going to do another one with you. Okay, we're going to do one more together, and then I'm going to let you do a try it. Okay, so let's do another one because I know that changing mixed numbers is a little bit tricky. Okay, so B. B says to find 3 and 5, 6. You guys, I'm also just getting these problems straight out of our book on Big Ideas. So if you're like, where does Miss Englander even get these problems? Where is she coming up with these numbers? I literally just pull them straight out of the book. So if you go on Big Ideas and you look at your ebook on 2.3, you will see these problems there. So 3 and 5, 6 divided by 1 and 2/3. So I need to go and divide this. So my first step, if I look back up here, was I had to get rid of my mixed numbers. So I need to think back 2 lessons, or I can look straight up here. So I need to get rid of this 3 and make it an improper fraction. So the way that I'm going to make this an improper fraction is I need to figure out this 3 and this 6. And I can just use the trick if I want. So if you want to just use the trick, you can. If you remember the trick, so 3 and 5, 6. So if I multiply here, I get 18, and then I add there. So this tells me 6 over 6 plus 6 over 6 plus 6 over 6, which is 18, right? And 18 plus 5, so I get 18 over 6 plus 5 over 6. That is what this represents. Okay? Right there. Okay, and now I can get my next. There we go. So that becomes 23 over 6. So I get 23 over 6 for my final fraction. So my improper fraction is 23 over 6 because 18, so 6 times 3 is 18, or 6 over 6 plus 6 over 6 plus 6 over 6, plus the 5 6 that's left over right there. And I also have now this fraction right here that I need to worry about. So I have divided by this one, which is 1 and 2/3. So multiply here, add here. So that's like 3 over 3, right? So if I get 3 over 3 plus 2 over 3, and that gives me 5 over 3. Now I can divide those. Okay, my next step said that I needed to divide with a keep, change, and a flip. So I'm going to keep, change, and flip these guys. So I need to keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. So I am going to keep this. I need to change that, and I need to flip that over. Okay, so this is really like 23 over 6 times 3 over 5. That is a really big problem. That's huge. Okay, so 23 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times that. 5 times 6 is 30. Okay, now I could be done with this, but I'm not because it's improper. So I have to reduce this down. I have to reduce it down. So I need to see how many times I can pull 30 out of 69. So 30, 60, that gives me 2 with 9 30ths left over. Well, I know that 3 can go into 9 and 3 can go into 30. So if I divide both of those by 3, I get 2 and 3 tenths. And that is my final answer. All right, you guys, let's do a try it. We're going to do one try it for today. So today's try it, I'm just going to put it right over here since I'm running out of space because I wrote really big. Sorry. Okay, your try it for today. Let's see here. So let's see. Let's do try it. Let's do try it number... we're going to try it number 4. in your book. So this is try it number 4 in your book. And it says 6 1/2 divided by 2/1. All right, right now you're going to want to pause the video. Otherwise, you're going to hear me start to explain this. And you don't want to hear that happen until you are perfectly ready for that to happen. So go ahead and hit pause. Once you've tried this for yourself, then come back and hit start so that you can see if you get the answer right and the steps. If you don't get the answer right, that's okay. Figure out where you went wrong so that you can adjust your mistakes. All right. So my first step is to create an improper fraction. All right, so multiply and add. So 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So I get 13/2 divided by, okay, well, 2/1 is really like 2 wholes. So that already is an improper fraction, so that's okay. Now I'm ready. I have keep it, change it, flip it. So I'm going to keep 13/2. I'm going to change, and I'm going to flip this to be 1/2. Find the reciprocal. So I need to multiply by the reciprocal. So when I multiply by the reciprocal, what do I get? I get 13 times 1. I get 13. And 2 times 2 is 4. And 13/4. Okay, let's look at this. So I get 4, 8, 12. So I can pull out 3 wholes with 1/4 left over. And I don't need to reduce this down anymore. All right, you guys, in your own words, go ahead and explain to me, how do you divide mixed numbers? So somewhere around here in your own words, explain to me, answer your essential question. How do you divide mixed numbers? What do you need to do? And then in your box, give me your rating. Where are you at right now? Are you a 3? I totally get this. I understand that you just use keep, change, flip. I understand how to convert mixed numbers into improper fractions and back again. Are you a 2? I need to go and ask Miss Englander for some more help. I'm going to email her. I have some questions about the converting process. There's a lot of steps. I'm a little bit lost. I'm going to use my notes for sure. Or are you a 1? I don't remember keep, change, flip from 5th grade. I didn't watch the video from yesterday. I need to go back and watch it. Or are you stuck on the vocabulary? Figure out where you're at. Put your answer in the box. And then once you're done, go ahead and head on over to your practice work for today. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Keep doing good things, big things. You are amazing workers. I really, really appreciate you. If you have questions, come back to the Google Meet and ask me. All right, make it a great day the Cougar way.